Hello, brothers, sisters, fathers, husbands, employees, bosses, cooks, chefs, plumbers, retail workers, anybody who's listening. What's up? What's going on? It's Evan, one half of the Maneuver Accordingly podcast. Today, I got a little eeny weeny beeny teensy weensy bit of game for you today, just about locations, cities, and areas that you can thrive in as a young man, if you are a young man watching this, or as a young woman. But mostly for the young men, if you are watching, got something for you. So let me give you a little bit of backstory. Been living in Atlanta, Georgia, in the metro area for about 4, going on 5 years. Came from Northern Virginia in the DMV area, and a little bit of a culture shock, but for the better. And I want to say it helped me connect and it helped me learn a lot more things that I needed to know. So, guys, I just got a couple things for you today. I got 7 different things that you need to know about Atlanta if you're deciding to move here. All right. So, let's get into it, man. First thing, not in any particular order, I want to get into is definitely going to be the style. I want to say that is like the first thing that you notice when you're getting off the plane. Man, style is amazing, and it's almost like, I'm not gonna say it a necessity, but it's almost like a prerequisite to have out here in order to be like existing, man. These a lot of people got the tattoos, you got the piercings, you got the dreads, you got the jewelry, you got the hats, you got like really bright colors, and I really loved that when I got down here. Like I saw a lot of bright colors, man, a lot of yellows, a lot of greens, a lot of like purples, and like you'll see it on both genders, man. So it's like these men ain't out here afraid to show like a pink Hellstar, or maybe a pink spider hoodie or whatever the case is. Like bright colors are the thing, man. And for the women, lovely black queens definitely gonna be out here with the spandex, with the tights, with the jeans, anything with the colors, it's gonna show off, man. Whatever they got, it's finna show. So just best believe if you coming down here for a weekend or for 2 days or to live, you're gonna have to show out. You're gonna have to pull out the best outfits. You're gonna have to compete if you are a type of person that's on the scene and if you out here enjoying these type of activities, man. So I love the competitive energy. So let's go, man. Number two kind of goes hand in hand. What I was just talking about is that atmosphere. Definitely want to say, man, the atmosphere is cool, man. It's like a out vibe. It's like a friendly vibe. It's like everyone is out doing something. Everyone is from a different place, man. So that's really cool when you get out here for a visit or for a couple of days or however long you are, man. Just know that nobody is usually from here. There's a couple of people who are from Atlanta, and that's you're always gonna have that from the inner city or whatever, from like Marietta. You got different outskirt cities which are still deemed in the Atlanta metro area. You have a city like Marietta, which is kind of in the northern area. You got a city, you got Buckhead, which is an area within the county. Then you also have like, Edgewood. Then you also have, just different areas that can either be, in the vicinity of the metro area. So, definitely want to say that. And I will say for sure, um, in this kind of atmosphere, it's definitely somewhat of a money atmosphere, depending on where you're at. But it's also like you can kind of choose what you want to do. You can kind of choose how you want to be, how you want to, there's a money aspect for sure. If you want to go in that, you're a high roller. If you got your business, if you got your money, you got your, you ready to spend, are you ready to play a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Like it's definitely a vibe for you. Maybe a city called Buckhead. They have a lot of like areas, a lot of clubs, a lot of restaurants, nightclubs, stuff where you gotta spend money. Strip clubs if you into that as well. Um, Man, a lot of bars, a lot of lounges, a lot of restaurants that turn into bars. Very unique thing about Atlanta. In these bars and in these restaurants, a lot of them are like conversions. So it's like it'll be a restaurant during the day, and at night it'll straight turn into a bar or straight up to like just whatever it is, whatever the vibe is. And I like that, like it's kind of open ended and like that in a lot of places, man. Like they not gonna hold you back if you're trying to have a good time, man. That's one thing we known for. I ain't gonna say we, but one thing that the A is known for, you're not gonna hold back, man. I've seen women dancing on top of tables. I've seen, people hanging inside, outside, you know what I'm saying, bringing in stuff, bringing out stuff, you know what I'm saying, people leaving and coming back, spending money like it's nothing, showing up with their homies, showing up with girls. Like, it's always a good time, man. It's always a vibe. And I want to say, man, one thing, just make sure you kind of like are careful about leaving your stuff exposed. So if you got some, if you got some chains or you got some jewelry or you got some cash or you got something in your car, or you got something that's kind of flashing, don't be out here like flashing too much. I'll say that. Don't be out here like, trying to like show off or trying to over impress anybody. If that's who you are and you wear the jewelry and then, you just with the flashiness, you got the, the diamond rings and you got the gold chains and you got the wads of cash and, you got the big blunts of weed and the 3-5, and that's who you are. Just make sure you're ready to stand on business if you happen to be in the wrong area at the wrong time. That's all I'm gonna say. So, as long as you don't come with like over flexing, over trying to prove anything, then usually it's always a good time and it's good vibes, man. Everybody's usually there to chill. Nobody's really here to like mess some stuff up unless somebody get disrespected, and that's a whole nother situation. So yeah, boom. Another thing, man. I guess one of my favorite things to talk about. Ooh, the traffic. As I get older and as I drive in many different cities and many different areas, I realize that traffic is everywhere. It is unavoidable. Atlanta happens to have a little bit of a congested area, but that's only because there's a lot of new people constantly moving in, and there's a lot of people who are constantly like here on vacation or for short periods of time. So just kind of like plan ahead, like maybe a few minutes ahead, like kind of know what times of the day you're going to be driving. If you're out between like 4, 5, 6, 7, anything like that, just kind of be, well, okay, it's going to be a few people out here, my commute might be a little bit longer, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of like mentally prepare yourself, because there's a lot of people getting off work. There's a lot of people not working as well. A lot of people are influencers. A lot of people are, working from home. A lot of people have their own business. So a lot of people run their own schedule, man. So you got to just be aware that you are not going to be the only one alone. If it's like a Monday afternoon or a Tuesday afternoon, like you're going to be out with like a whole bunch of other people, which is cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's cool to see like everybody kind of bossing up and kind of like living their own lifestyle in a way. So like if that's the kind of mindset you have as far as like not really wanting to work for someone else or kind of having your own adventure, you can always come down to the A and link up with other people. And I say like people down here are like super cool and open and like friendly with their business, and like it's all about business and connecting down here. So that's another thing, man. So but yeah, just program a couple minutes into your commute. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people smoke and drive. I'm not saying do that, but seems to be a great way for most people to kind of like alleviate the stress during that. So I get that part. Another topic we finna get into, man. Pricing. Now, when I came down here, the pricing was a little bit lower than what it is now, but on a national average, Atlanta still has like one of the lower like pricing ranges as far as like housing, food, entertainment, and everything else. Like if you're comparing it to like New York, or if you're comparing it to like, California or any major city, as far as Atlanta being a major city, it has one of like the lowest costs as far as like, commuting and anything else. Like now it is rising. I'll say that it is getting up there, but that's inflation. You got the, politics, a whole other story. But at the same time, I will say on a national average, if you still compare this to like New York or to California or to like, any kind of major city like LA or, like maybe Miami, like it's still cheaper than like all three of those, four of those options put together. So that is one thing to consider, man. That's why a lot of people that I've talked to have moved down here. It's strictly just like pricing. Atlanta has a fun scene where it's like, it's not too expensive to live life on a, on some normal stuff, and also still have a good time like within reason, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's another thing about the city, man. It's cool. uh ooh One of the favorites, food, man. Definitely want to get into the food, man. Food. Now I will say Atlanta is the South, bro, so it's like if you like southern home cooked food, if you like, you know what I'm saying, like wings, fries, kind of feel good, like finger food, nuggets, wings, you know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff, like man, like they got it. But let me tell you something, it's not just boxed into that, bro. Like you got a whole international scene down here too. So like if you down here and you're like, man, okay, I'm cool with the wings, the fries, the chicken, or anything else, you can get yourself into some Indian. You got Chinese. You got like Pakistani. You got like Iranian, Middle Eastern, Jamaican, Turkish. And the thing is about the A is like there's so many like little pockets of like different cultures that are in different areas that you can kind of just branch out and just jump to and kind of go see what they got going on. Like I've been to like a Brazilian restaurant, shout out Porto's Brazilian. It's like a Brazilian bakery slash like buffet, but that's in an area called Sandy Springs. They have out here great food, man. Like 20 some dollars, man. Eat all you want. Great Brazilian food. They got like the meat where they shave it off the thing, fresh served to you. So man, it just depends on what you want, man. Of course they're gonna have Mexican. Of course you're gonna have Puerto Rican, Dominican. You got a whole bunch of different options, man. So it really depends on what you're looking for. Just make sure you do a little bit of research, see about the menu, see what you want, and see about that pricing. You know what I'm saying? So for sure. Ooh, another one. The ratio. All right, when I say ratio, you probably like ratio. What you mean ratio? I'm talking about the ratio of men to women. Last time I checked, brother, it was 7-1. 7-1. That's 7 parts women, 1 parts men. There's many reasons for that, but the main reason, um, a lot of single independent women out here doing their thing, man. And I will honestly say, like, if you're a young black man and you got some shit going on, you got some money, you got a good head on your shoulders, or whatever the case may be, if young white man, young Asian man, whatever the case may be, you want to come down and try to look for a black woman or just any other, there's more than just black here, by the way. But specifically, we got a lot of black queens, independent black queens, which I love. They got their own business, or maybe their own dental practice, or maybe they're a surgeon. It's just like a whole nother level of like excellence that you can tap into down here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I see that, it's cool. You got the medical field, you got like cooking, chefs, just anything, man. Like taking care of kids, nannies, man. Like it's all done down here, and I want to say it's truly cool to kind of see that vibe expanding, man. So I would say, yeah, 7-1, man. So if you're out here trying to have a good time, you're out here trying to like meet women, not even just do whatever, like meet, have fun, get to know somebody, man. Like man, Atlanta's the place to do it. Like I said, 7 parts women, 1 parts men. So you outnumbered in a good way. Last thing, not definitely not least, man. We're gonna say with the roads. So I would say road structure it is improving, and there are constantly like improvements on the road structures, major highways. Main thing I will say, not to get too much, but it's like a little bit of potholes. So you definitely got potholes. It's kind of like a running joke in the A. Like, what I'm saying? You hear about potholes, you hear about dodging potholes, stuff like that. That's a very true thing. So I would say it's on the up and coming. And one of the things about the A being an up and coming constructive city, like it's constantly innovating. They're constantly having like new events, new venues, business meetings, whatever it is. They had I think they talked about having the Olympics here at one point, or I don't know if it's still going on or not, but just stuff like that, like just events to bring internationally, because and Atlanta is such an international city, and that's one thing I didn't know when I came here. It is truly an international city. They even have an international like terminal at the airport. It's actually an international airport, but it flies domestically as well. But it's known because people fly all over the world strictly to Atlanta. So you got to think Atlanta has like direct access, literally direct access to a whole world, literally, of cultures, foods, or people, or of anything in that sort. So I say that to say road structure is getting better, man. So you might have a couple potholes, but other than that, it's really not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Be able to cruise, just kind of plan ahead on your route, man. The roads are a little bit spaced out. So I will say, if you're used to driving and that you like driving a lot, that's good, because driving time is going to increase a little bit if you're not like from like a spaced out city. So when I was in the DMV area, it was very much like short distances, or maybe everything was closer together, I'll say that. But down here you got a lot more space and land, which is a cool thing too. So just be prepared to drive like a little bit, little some depending on where you're going, because it is like a spacious state. It's a greenery state, and they have like a lot of space and a lot of like distance in between places sometimes, and it might be not even that much, just like a little bit of an adjustment as far as like the route you take and everything like that. But yeah, man. So all in all, I want to say just be aware that the population is growing, man. But if you love fun, if you love like international cultures, different food, man, women, like bro, 7-1, like women. You know what I'm saying? Like if you love like what I'm saying, just being independent, doing your own thing, and just ready to branch out. Like I want to say Atlanta is the city because like it really does have a bunch of people who are honestly trying to do their own thing, man. So if you are a person that's breaking away from the scene, you tired of the corporate, you tired of the retail, you want to do YouTube, you want to do TikTok, or you want to do Instagram, you want to be a lash technician, or any, you know what I'm saying, like anything, like, you know, a streamer. The streaming is the hot new thing nowadays. This is the city to do it because it's almost normalized as a culture. Like, this is what goes on here. Superstars are from here. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have to name any, but like Lil Baby, Future, Ti, like everybody. You know what I mean? And it's not just black superstars too. There's a few white ones. I gotta research them, but few white people, few you know, different races of all kind, man. From Marietta, or from Dunwoody, or from Sandy Springs, or from Adamsville, or from anywhere. You know, like just different cities and pockets in the Atlanta metro area, man. So, man, get your ass down here and check it out. Peace.